Hi, my name is Marianne, and I'm humbled and honored to create and share this YIN yoga practice with each of you. Before we get started, there are a few props that can be very helpful. So if you have blocks, bolsters, blankets, or a strap, please get them now. Don't worry if you don't have these exact props. You can use pillows, rolled up towels, or a belt. Pause the video and collect any props you may need, and then come back and meet in a comfortable seated position. If you are new to Yin Yoga, I want to give you a bit of an introduction. Yin Yoga is different than other forms of yoga you may have practiced or are familiar with. Unlike a more Yang-centered practice where flexibility, balance, and even strength are showcased, Yin is designed for peace and for connecting with your inner self. It is a slower moving practice, spending several minutes in a pose, letting time and gravity guide the shape of the pose. Using props to aid in comfort is encouraged. For each pose, I will cue and demonstrate how to get into the pose safely. I will keep track of the time, and when time, will guide you out of the pose safely. Let's get started. Take a few deep inhales and let out your breath with a heavy sigh. Close your eyes and settle into the natural rhythm of your breath. Feel the air move freely and at your own pace as it moves in and out. I want to share for a moment about trauma and healing. The reason I am so humbled and honored to share this practice with you is because I know personally the effect trauma has on our bodies. Emotions and feelings, especially the really hurt-filled and raw ones, and even the ones that are so much a part of you that you don't remember the source. Well, these emotions are stored deep in the connective tissues of our bodies. I encourage you to let this practice provide a space to untangle the emotions and feelings that entangle those connective tissues and organs. Let it provide space for the healing of those emotions. In the stillness of each pose, give yourself the gift of feeling whatever comes up for you. You are safe. And while you may be by yourself as you practice, know that you are not alone. You are held and loved by all those who have done this practice before you and those that will come after you. As you practice, whatever comes up for you, whether you are feeling stuck physically, mentally, emotionally, always come back to your breath. We will start in a heart bench. If you have blocks, place one sideways on the highest setting at the top of your mat where your head will go. Place the other long ways on the middle setting several inches down from the other block. If you don't have blocks, a firm pillow or a rolled up blanket will also work. Sit in front of the blocks with knees bent and feet on the ground. Carefully lay down over the blocks using your forearms and hands to guide you. The bottom edge of the block should be 1 to 2 inches below your shoulder blades, about your mid-back. Use your hands to adjust that block as necessary. Head rests on the top block at the base of the skull. Adjust that block if necessary. Your collarbones and chest open toward the sky. Arms rest gently by your sides. Your knees can stay bent or extend your legs. You could also choose to position your legs in butterfly pose. Choose which of those are most comfortable for you. Once in the pose, allow all the muscles in your body to melt toward the floor and let yourself let go. Let go of any tension around your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw. Release anything you're holding in your neck and arms and shoulders. Perhaps lift your chest to the sky a bit and open your heart, taking this time to consider someone or something that brings you love, and breathe that in deeply. Let your hips and pelvis and legs go heavy on the mat, and let all those muscles completely relax. Come back to present. Take in a deep inhale and notice how you feel. To come out of the pose, lead with the chest, using your elbows and then hands for support to come back to sitting. Take a moment to check in with your body, doing any movements that you find natural and helpful. Set your props to the side. Next, we'll come into child's pose. First, come to a tabletop position with hands and knees to the ground. From here, lower your hips and sit back onto your heels. You'll have an option to bring your knees closer together or separate them at hip distance apart or wider. If needed, protect your knees by placing a blanket or folded towel under them. You could also use a bolster or pillow under your torso for support. A block or folded towel can provide support for your forehead. Sink down into your hips and allow your chest to rest on or in between your thighs. Extend your arms out in front of you with your palms facing down, or rest your head on your palms. Or, if possible, allow your forehead to come to your mat. Feel the ground beneath you, supporting you as you soften your neck and lower back, and allow all the muscles in your body to melt toward the floor. Child's pose is used throughout yoga to bring your mind and your breath back to a safe and centered place. In this fetal-like shape, we can feel like we are nurturing, caring for, and perhaps even protecting our souls. The safety of our souls is as personal as it is imperative. This pose offers the balance between the protection that is so important and then reaching forward with an open heart to the possibilities the future brings, while staying still in the present moment. Come back to present. Take in a deep inhale and notice how you feel. To come out of the pose, bring your hands underneath your shoulders and press against the ground slowly, lifting your torso back to a seated position. Take a moment to check in with your body, doing any movements that you find natural and helpful, and set your props to the side. Our next pose is dragon. Come back to tabletop to start. Step your right foot forward in between your hands, aligning your front knee with your front ankle, or keep your knee slightly behind your ankle. With your weight slightly forward, slide your left knee back, allowing your knee and top of foot to rest on your mat. Use bolsters or blankets to protect your hips and knees, or even to offer support so that you can focus on relaxing rather than keeping your balance. Stay here or bring both of your hands to the inside of your front knee. You can come down to your forearms or opt to come onto blocks for support. Keep your back slightly rounded and your neck comfortable and melt into this pose. As you let time and gravity guide this shape, observe what you are feeling in your hips and pelvis. Some of our deepest emotions, especially those related to safety and well-being, are stored in the pelvic region. Consider this opportunity to allow your body to let go of the physical pain that may be tangled up with those emotions, and give your heart a chance to process them and heal. Come back to present, and we'll take the other side. Release out of the pose gently by coming back to your hands if you are on your forearms. Reset your hands to the mat on each side of your front knee. Guide your back, leg, and foot back to tabletop, and then your front leg back to tabletop. Switch sides by stepping your left foot forward between your hands. Slide the right knee back and allow it to rest on your mat, staying comfortably on the top of your right back foot. Again, the choice to stay here or bring both hands to the inside of your front knee, lowering onto your forearms or using blocks for support as you did the other side. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, relax. Notice how this side feels. Perhaps this brings up different emotions than the other side. Or perhaps a similar emotion with different level of intensity. Be aware of what comes up for you and let the tension of it go with each exhale. Come back to present, taking in a deep inhale, and notice how you feel. Release out of the pose gently by coming back to your hands if you are on your forearms. Reset your hands to the mat on each side of your front knee. Guide the back leg and foot to tabletop position, and then the front leg. Take a moment to check in with your body, doing any movements that you find natural or helpful, and set your props to the side. Come to a seated staff pose by first sitting on your mat and then extending both legs in front of you. Then we'll move into our next position, caterpillar. Keep your knees slightly bent. Simply begin to fold forward at your hips and allow your arms to rest on your thighs, knees, shins, ankles, or towards blocks. If you are familiar with traditional yoga, this is similar to seated forward fold with some very important differences. In seated forward fold, we flex our feet and engage the quads, whereas in this one, we relax the feet, let them fall out to the sides even, and relax your quads. We have a rounded back rather than a straight back, and don't try to reach your feet. You can use blocks or bolsters to rest your head, arms, or torso. Allow gravity to pull your torso forward towards your legs and let your muscles relax. Release the grip, any muscles in your legs. Notice if you are holding tension in your glutes or lower back and let go. Soften your upper back and shoulders, letting your head fall forward naturally. Feel the muscles in your face melt toward the floor. Come back to present. Take a deep inhale and notice how you feel. To release out of the pose, lift your torso and rise back up gently, coming back into staff pose. Take a moment to check in with your body, doing any movements that you find natural and helpful, and then come to an easy seat. Our next position is Sleeping Swan, known as Pigeon in other traditional yoga classes. First, come back to tabletop position. Slide your right knee forward toward your right arm and your right foot toward your left wrist. The more parallel your shin is to the front of the mat, the more intense this shape may feel. So adjust your front leg and shin to your comfort. Like you did in dragon pose, slide your left leg back on your mat so that your thigh, knee, and top of foot rest comfortably on the mat. Stay here or let gravity deepen the pose as you begin to fold your upper torso down towards the mat. Come onto your forearms and rest your head on your palms, or bring your forehead all the way down to the mat and extend your arms out in front of you with palms facing down. Use blocks or bolsters as rest for the head or to support your hips. Much like dragon pose, use this shape to notice any stress you may be holding in your hips and pelvis. And on each exhale, visualize that tension leaving your physical body. Soften your right glute and let your pelvis, hips, leg, and torso sink into the mat. Relax your neck and shoulders, letting your head rest comfortably into whatever is supporting it. Come back to present. Take in a deep inhale and we'll switch sides. Release out of the pose gently by coming back to your hands if you're on your forearms. Press gently into your hands and slide your back leg into tabletop position. Then take your front leg back also. Shift your hips back and forth if necessary. Bring your left knee forward to your left elbow, left foot to the right side of your mat. adjusting again to your comfort. Extend the right leg back and sink into the pose as you did on the other side, using any props that you found helpful. Breathe, relax, soften your left glute and let your pelvis, hips, legs, and torso sink into the mat. Relax your neck and your shoulders, letting your head rest comfortably, letting go of any tension around your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw. Come back to present. Take in a deep inhale. Notice how you feel. Release out of the pose gently by coming back to your hands if you're on your forearms. Press gently into your hands and slide your back leg into tabletop position. And then your front leg. Take a moment to check in with your body, doing any movements that you find natural and helpful. Set any props to the side. Our next position is Sphinx, which is down on your tummy. You can get there from tabletop, so if you're not in tabletop, let's start there. Now, move into Sphinx by leaning your weight slightly into your arms, sliding one leg back at a time, and then lowering your chest and torso slowly to the mat. When you get there, you can rest your head into your forearms. Now, lift your head slightly and glide your elbows down beside your rib cage. Hands pointing forward, palms down. Allow your legs to be about hip distance apart and rest on the tops of your feet. Bend your elbows so that your forearms are pressing down onto the mat. Come into the pose slowly by pressing your palms into the mat and spread your fingers wide on your mat, lifting your chest and upper body upwards, coming into a slight back bend. Now that you are here, soften the muscles in your feet, your legs, your hips, and your pelvis. Release the muscles in your mid-body and your back your shoulders, hands, and arms. Let go of any tension around your eyes, cheeks, chin, and mouth. Come back to present. Take a deep inhale and notice how your body feels as you release your body to the mat. Rest your head and your forearms and take a moment to check in with your body. For our final poses, roll over gently to your back. Once there, bend your knees, keeping your feet on the ground and drawing them towards your glutes. Bring your arms out wide and allow your shoulders to press gently into the mat. Draw your knees in toward your chest and begin to let both knees slowly fall over to your left side towards your mat. A blanket or towel on the mat or between your legs may provide additional comfort or support. Allow your gaze to flow in the opposite direction of your knees. If this is too much, keep your gaze looking up or in the same direction as your knees. You can opt to close your eyes here and allow the muscles in your face to soften. Allow your shoulders to gently stay pressed to your mat and keep your neck soft and relaxed. Relax the muscles throughout your body, allowing yourself to melt into the support beneath you. This shape helps to wring out the gut-wrenching emotions that tangle up and disrupt our digestive system. On each in-breath, allow your breath to encircle any pain or discomfort stored in your abdomen and let it go on each out-breath, imagining that discomfort leaving your body, softening all the muscles throughout this area. Breathe in, encircle, Breathe out, let it go. Come back to present and let's take the other side. Gently guide your knees back to center using your hands for support if that helps. Shift any props that you may need over to the right side of your mat. Now let your knees gently fall over to the right side. Shift your gaze to the other direction. Relax your legs and hips. Feel your shoulders on the mat. Release any tension around your eyes, cheeks, chin, and mouth. And then draw your awareness to your abdomen. Once again, letting go of those muscles and feeling the gentle twist as this shape cares for your digestive system. Allow your breath to ring out and release any tension there. Come back to present. Take a deep, slow inhale. And gently bring your knees back to center. Take a moment to check in with your body, doing any movements that you find natural and helpful. Maybe rocking side to side. Then slowly extend your legs, one at a time, out long on the mat. For our final resting pose, Shavasana, you may want a bolster for under your knees, pillow or blanket for under your head, or a blanket to cover you up. Take a moment to get any props set up that will help you become the most comfortable. Then come to a comfortable position lying on your back. Allow your eyes to fall shut. Take a slow, deep inhale, and as you exhale, say in your mind, I am here. I am safe. I am loved. Notice how you feel. And allow your breath to come naturally and softly. With your legs spread comfortably apart, let your feet and ankles fall out to the side. Relax the muscles in your toes. Notice the surface against the back of your legs and let their weight be heavy on the mat. Let your hips and pelvis sink into the surface beneath you. Release any tension in your lower back and let go of the muscles in your abdomen. Fill the rise and fall of your chest and stomach with your breath. I am here. I am safe. I am loved. Bring your arms by your sides and the palms up towards the sky. Allow your shoulders to relax down to the mat and soften the muscles in your neck. Release any tension in your forehead and brow. Relax the muscles around your eyes, your cheeks, your ears. Unclench your jaw, allowing your teeth to separate, maybe resting the tip of your tongue against the back of your top front teeth. Lips soften into a slight smile. Notice your breath. I am here. I am safe. I am loved. Allow the tension and the grip of the pain and the hurt and the trauma held onto for so long to dissipate, dissolve, and disappear. Now let your mind drift to a place and a time when you felt unencumbered joy. A time and a place where you felt safe and loved. A time and a place before what happened. Perhaps it was a day at the beach when you were very young. The warm sand against the bottom of your feet. The sun glistening on the water. Maybe it was a time at the park, carefree, back and forth on the swing set as you went higher and higher, the wind brushing against your face. Or a night out camping under the stars, lying on your back under the vastness of the universe, watching with anticipation for the next shooting star. Let your mind observe that younger you and experience the wonder, excitement, and possibilities. As you continue to observe that younger you, consider the infinite and divine worth of that precious little soul. You are safe. You are here. You are loved. Slowly come back to the present moment. Wiggle your fingers and your toes and gently roll onto your side. And take a few breaths. When you're ready, come back to a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed if you'd like and observe how you feel in this moment. You are here. You are safe. You are loved. Consider that little soul you observed during Shavasana, that divinity, that worth, that joy, those possibilities, that freedom is still inside you. My hope and desire for you is that you are able to feel that for yourself. Bring your hands to heart center. We end our yoga practice with the word namaste, which is a symbol of deep honor and respect. What namaste means to me is, may the light and love in me see and honor the light and love in you. If during Shavasana your mind took you to a place that brought you peace, consider continuing in meditation for as long as comfortable. Namaste.